absolutely want to see some vampire counts. Javierbeak says, I vote Bretonia. Now, are you voting Bretonia to win, or are you voting for Bretonia to come out again? Also, Terrorgeist. Yes, Terrorgeist would be very fun to watch. Tearing people apart, and I know that Guy probably wants to go for that Terrorgeist as well. But I am, of course, going to have to root for the Skaven in this battle. And let's look at the battles that we have for ourselves. So, just to remind you of Celia's, we have 3 units of Glade Riders at the front, Skirmish Cavalry. We've got 3 units of Dryads, 2 units of Eternal Guard with Shields. We've also got some Wildwood Rangers, as you pointed out in the chat. We've got the Flying Forest Dragon, which is going to be very difficult to deal with. We've got 2 Great Eagles, and of course we've got an Ancient Tree Man looking amazing with those weird tendrils that he pokes out and that awesome flowery staff. Looking awesome. And as we move over to the right-hand side, we see the Skaven probably coming after this huge deposit of Warpstone sitting in the center of this desert. And let's see what they've come up with. So they've got moved some Stormvermin Halberds at the front. Stormvermin Halberds, great pick to bring into a free-for-all battle. Lots of monsters turn up. We've got 3 Doom Wheels. Oh, Guy, you are spoiling me. We've got some Skaven Slaves there just to add a little bit of meat. And right at the back, we've also got 2 Stormvermin with sword and shield. Definitely an anti-infantry and anti-large build here. And we've got Queek right there, my main man Queek, sitting there, jittering up, ready to smash some heads in and take them for himself. Let's move after the Darwi. Gone for a very heavy infantry-based battle, but we've also gone for some Iron Drakes here as well, and 2 Organ Guns is going to be very, very fun to watch. We've got some Slayers there just for a little bit of anti-large. We've also got some Miners with Blasting Charges out the front, with some Rangers as well. And then we're going to have a nice mix of Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons and Standard Iron Breakers. Also with some Dwarf Warriors with Great Weapons here, and some Dwarf Warriors Standard. We've got some Grumbling Guard, and we've got some more Standard Great Weapon Dwarf Warriors. We've got some Iron Drakes and some Trollhammer Torpedoes there, which are going to be very fun to watch as well. And, of course, we've got Ungrim Iron Fist, the Slayer King, ready to take down some big, gribbly monsters. But I'm not seeing any monsters, I have to say. Very, very small amount of monsters. We've got the Tree Man and the Dragon. We've got 2 Great Eagles on this side. The 3 Doom Wheels are going to be handy for those Slayers, but apart from that, it's pretty much a heavy infantry build. We have got 2 units of cavalry here on the left-hand side, 1 of Grail Guardians, 1 of Knights of the Realm, which means that they're going to be very, very tricky for those draws to deal with. We've also got another unit of Knights of the Realm on the side. We've got a Paladin and a Grail Reliquary over here, being flanked by Men-at-Arms, Polearms, some Spearmen-at-Arms, and some Men-at-Arms that have been chevron right up. We've got your main man, King Lewin Leoncourt, on his Bequist, being backed up by some Pegasus Knights who have been chevron as well. 2 free trebuchets in that 1 unit, and 2 units of Peasant Bowmen, 1 with Pox and 1 with Fire. Very nice, even build, and already we've got some action as these Glade Riders are going to come over here and have basically nothing that they need to worry about on this side. Those Great Eagles over there are going to come in and make sure that they probably go after these Sword and Shield Stormvermin over here if they can. We've also got some Wildwood Rangers and some Dryads coming over to back up that little fracas on the side. It looks like Celia is just moving out in small groups, trying to skirmish here. Now she needs to be careful because she sent that Great Eagle into the back of these Stormvermin, and while that's going to be alright for the first charge, and you can see it did a decent amount of damage, she needs to get out of there because that Great Eagle's going to have a bad time if it sticks around with those Stormvermin, with those huge amounts of anti-large damage. Now those Wildwood Glade Riders, sorry, just able to shoot into the back of those Stormvermin with halberds, try and take out that anti-large, as that's the biggest warrior that Celia needs to be dealing with here. And she's able to just skirmish these Bretonians over here, these Knights of the Realm. Going to take a few shots from the Glade Riders, and if they get too close, they've got 2 Eternal Guards there with shield that they need to deal with. You can see these fire arrows now firing into the back of the Glade Riders, trying to get as many hits on them as they can. No kills, but we've got some Dryads over here. Now the Dryads are going to take a lot of damage from those fire arrows, so they need to be very careful. Going after that Paladin at the moment, but that Paladin's probably going to have an easy time taking those guys out. Lots of action happening here. And you can see the Doom Wheels have come straight into the back of the Darwi, and they're going to have a really fun time just ramming through these Dwarf Warriors. Now those Slayers might be able to deal with them, and they have got some Iron Drakes firing into the back, but apart from that, there's not a lot that they can do about this Doom Wheel action. Darwi are really going to hate Doom Wheels whenever they're in multiplayer situation. But those Organ Guns now can just sit on that hill, and you can see that Grace is sitting at the top now with 2.3 thousand points. And we've got that Forest Dragon there, taking a lot of range damage. Came in to try and deal with it, but it's taken King Lewin Leoncourt coming in to tear him apart with all of those pox arrows as well, dropping those debuffs. That poison debuff on him, that's really, really going to hurt. This map looks incredible, by the way. I love it. Now we've got some Eternal Guard coming over here, fighting with these Men-at-Arms polearms. That's going to be a nice, easy battle for them, I think. Although they have been chevroned up a little bit, so they need to be careful. Actually, no, sorry, it's the Eternal Guard who've been chevron. They're going to be fine. We've also got that Grail Reliquary, just giving it a little bit of a morale boost, but you probably need to just move it in a little bit closer. And let's move over to Celia and the Skaven over here, controlled by Guy. We've got Quick Headtaker tearing apart these Wildwood Rangers. That's a very, very good engagement for him. You can drop that explosion if it gets too hot and heavy, and you can see those Storm Vermin are just completely flanking them as well. This is probably the most expensive unit that Celia's brought, apart from that Tree Man. So she needs to be careful that she doesn't waste them. But in comes said Tree Man, about to drop some magic as well. Looks like she's going to try and heal up those Wildwood Rangers. Nope, he's actually gone for an Awakening of the Wood to try and take out some of the Storm Vermin. They're going to be a big worry for him. But he doesn't seem to care. He's just going to try and ram through them. Look at the mass. What? What are you going to do about it? Smash. We've got some Wildwood Rangers now. I keep calling them Wildwood Rangers. These Glade Riders, sorry, are coming in from the flank. And it looks like these Skaven slaves have been left over here. They probably just routed and need to come back into the fight. And you can see these Doom Wheels have actually given up on their fight with the Darwi. Moving over to try and support the rest of their army. Try and take out these Wood Elves who are trouncing on their territory. Bretonia doing okay here, sitting in second place, 3.9 thousand. Those Trebuchets, Blessed Field Trebuchets. I'm not sure why he went for the Blessed variant. Obviously, these Dwarves take less magical damage, so it's probably not going to be the best people for him to fire on. And he's actually missing quite a few of those shots. Trebuchet, not the most accurate piece of siege weaponry in the game. But, nope, yet another miss. That is bad times for the Trebs. As the Treb King, that's making me upset. Now those Doom Wheels are going to come in. They've taken quite a lot of a hit from those Darwi. Probably going to get up against those Slayers who've got that anti-large damage bonus. And it looks like they're going to try and move in right into the back of these Dryads. Already firing off some shots. And that Ancient Tree Man is getting torn to shreds. I don't know what Celia was thinking, moving them straight into these Storm Vermin. 3 units of elite anti-large. Very, very bad. Very, very bad target. Now we've got some Pegasus Knights, and we can also see King Lewin coming after these Glade Riders who are... I almost said it again. Oh my god. Coming after these Glade Riders who have been a bit of a thorn in their side. And you can see Beakwish just having a great time, just pouncing across the desert sands. Now a bit of a bad engagement for him over here. I wonder if he's just paying too much attention to that bit of micro over there, because we've got these Knights of the Realm getting torn to shreds by Eternal Guard, but they have got those Peasant Bowmen firing into the back. Hey, the League Master... Skaven do have elite units, goddammit. Stormvermin are incredible, leave them alone. Now the Organ Guns are just moving their focus over to the left-hand side. Now one thing about this map, if you are going to build a pretty siege weapon, artillery weapon focus build, you're going to need to worry about this terrain, because as you can see, it's difficult to see the other factions until they move over the crest of that hill. So Grace is just trying to reposition herself now, maybe get onto this nice little ledge here that she can use to try and get a bit more height. And we can see that the Wood Elves having a tough time. They are in second place. Guy's still in first place again, having a good time with those Doom Wheels, doing a lot of damage at the start. And you can see those Skaven Slaves and Storm Vermin just tearing after these Dryads. We've got a few units that have just rallied. That Ancient Tree Man is back now. If he does have a little Law of Life, then maybe he can bring himself back. But we've got Skaven Slaves coming after him. Are going to be a nice easy target for him. Doesn't have to worry about those guys too much. But those Doom Wheels crashing right into the Glade Riders, which is what they're called. I did it right this time. 3 Doom Wheels coming at them. And look at this. This is what you can only see in Mortal Empires. Wood Elves being torn apart by Skaven. Darwi and Bretonia. Just crazy stuff. Darwi are being very, very defensive. Bear in mind that although Grace is not getting very many points in this engagement, she can just kind of come in at the end here and just mop up. There's a lot of damage being dished out by the other teams. And she's just moving into a more favourable position over here. She spotted Quick Headtaker over there. She's going to try and use those Iron Drakes to just fire straight into them. Also got some Skaven Slaves there who can just soak up some of that. And you can see those Rangers now just moving in, trying to get some shots off in Queek. If they can take down Queek, who is completely isolated here, that's going to be very, very, very bad for Guy, who is going to really, really suffer with that lack of leadership bonus. And you can see that Celia is being taken down now. Probably just didn't pay enough attention to her Lord. Paid a bit too much attention to those Glade Riders, trying to do as much as they can. But if you do just completely ignore the rest of your army, they are going to get torn to shreds. by the lack of micro. And you can see now Quick taking some damage. Those Skaven Slayers are routed off. And you can see that he's just trying to get out of that position now, realize what a terrible place he's in. And we've got a lot of cavalry swarming into those Dwarf Warriors with great weapons. They've taken a lot of damage from that huge charge. Those Slayers were right there. It didn't look like Grace was paying much attention because she wasn't able to get in there, try and get the Slayers involved before they ran off. But we do now have some organ guns firing into them, trying to get as much damage before they get away. All to play for here. I think Grace has got enough strength left in her army to actually take out all of these armies left. The Bretonians looking pretty tattered. They do have King Lewin over there just chilling. Trebuchets just moving over to try and get into a position where they can start firing. And you can see the Strides getting torn apart as well. Now in come the Gyro Bombers as well. They're going to have a nice time firing after them, but they're careful they get too far away from their own army. Those Pegasus Knights can just turn straight back over. Tear them to shreds. The Bretonians just regrouping now. Got a little bit of a lull in the action, but don't you worry, because the Doom Wheels are on their way. Getting into each other's path a little bit, but they are ready to shred some dwarves up. The Fagaraki moving up the hills, moving after those Iron Drakes. The Trollhammer Torpedoes are the Regiment of Renown version. Very, very expensive unit. They do have anti-large damage, so they're going to try and do as much damage to those Doom Wheels as they can. But it looks like they were only able to get that one volley off before smash. Torn to shreds by Doom Wheels. What a devastating charge. Only about 10 of them left standing. I think Guy shouldn't pull off on that. He should just keep trying to get that damage. He is worried about those gyrocopters who are now coming in. Now, Selly has been taken out. She's sitting in second place, but I don't think that's going to last. A lot of points still to be earned. And we can see now the Storm Vermin, the Hordes, moving up the hills, moving in to take on those Dawi. That was a volley to remember, Carolus. These guys are just sitting pretty on the hill. They don't need to worry, although Grace just had to worry about one thing. She's got Pegasus Knights coming in on her tail, trying to take out those organ guns. That's going to be worth a lot of points to Pete. Now we've got the Doom Wheels coming in as well, just trouncing those guys on the left-hand flank. The Slayers need to get involved. In comes another one, just cresting the hill now, and in come those blasting charges, trying to do as much explosive damage as they can, probably taking out more of their own army as they can. And we've got the gyrocopters coming in now to try and smash into them as well. But what they really need to worry about is here comes the rest of the army. Closing in now. Grace needs to form up, get herself into a good position. She tried to spread out, probably trying to avoid some of those trebuchet volleys coming in. But that Doom Wheel's getting torn to shreds. And in comes Squeak Headtaker to come up against these miners and blasting charges. And the Dwarf Warriors are great weapons. Dwarf Warriors are great weapons, going to have a good time against these Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin are not armor piercing. Got a little buff being popped. Stand your ground's going to give them a little bit of melee defense and leadership. And those Doom Wheels have found a very juicy target on the left-hand side. These Grumbling Guard and Dwarf Warriors are going to be a nice, easy target for them, but Guy needs to make sure that he keeps that Doom Wheel moving, because if it stays stationary, it's not going to do as good a job. And in comes Bretonia now. Grace in a very unfortunate position. She thought she had the upper hand here, but she's getting flanked, although she is moving up into third place now as she's getting involved with these Skaven. Pete now sitting at the bottom, and Guy still at the top with 9.3 thousand points. Ironbreakers just landing loads of volleys of those blasting charges, getting juicy amounts of points there. Moving up, just getting close to Guy now. Moving up into 7,000. This is definitely anyone's game still. Pete definitely sitting at the bottom, but he's got a lot of damage he can still do. Those 2 units of Bowman and those Trebuchet are going to definitely be the most useful thing at the moment, as they're all clumped up. If you can get some good volleys on here, let's see where they land. That's where you want to be hitting. Finally, we see a Trebuchet bolt hit. And Ungrim Iron Fist is not going to go down without a fight. Just drop Deadly Onslaught, which is going to give him some more armor-piercing damage. It's a weapon damage, which is going to be very, very good for taking out those Storm Vermin. I know that that Doom Wheel's there. It's looking like it's very close to death. Queek just popping his Verminous Valor there to give himself a little bit of space. He's trying to move on to Ungrim, but he's getting blocked by his own Doom Wheel. The disrespect. In comes King Lewin Leoncourt now as well. He can start probably dropping on those Rangers. He's actually going after those Storm Vermin whilst they're routing to try and take out the anti-large on the field. And in come those forces now. Just a couple of units on this hand side. Only got one unit of Dwarf Warriors and an Organ Gun. They're going to get torn to shreds. And this is just an absolute carnage. You can see this Doomwheel's been taken out. Only had a couple of bits of health left. Little Storm Vermin stuck inside, doing his best to try and fight. And you can see the rout starts to come. That Skaven leadership, not very high. We've already got some Storm Vermin running away. Some of them rallying now. But we do have Bequist still coming in. He's going after those Gyro Bombers. We've also got Paladin just sitting there. Paladin needs to get involved, Pete. Iron Drake's there. Got lots of ammo that they can still fire. Need to start firing off those Peasant Bowmen. Also got those Men-at-Arms coming in. They've been chevroned up. The Spearmen Arms. You can see they're just taking out that organ gun nice and easy. And that's going to be a lot of points for Pete. He's moving up into third place now. He's just overtaken Celia. But it's all happening. It's this massive fracas right on the side of the hill. Legions of Storm Vermin coming up against Slayers. Coming up against these grumbling guard. And Ungrim Iron Fist himself, who's currently in a battle with Queek Headtaker, Lord of the City of Pillars. And you can see that he's dropping quite a lot of buffs to try and help him out. But it looks like that trophy head has just been dropped. That's really gonna be bad for Ungrim Iron Fist. It's gonna, as you can see, drop his melee defense and his melee attack. He's also got Pegasus Knights coming in to try and get as much damage as he can. We've also got a rear charge of Knights of the Realm. It's all kicking off. We can see the Iron Breakers just chilling here. They need to move in. I think Grace is too busy trying to worry about her flanks over here. Probably trying to get these guys back into the fight. Doing as much damage as she can with those Rangers, trying to keep her score high. She's only 2,000 behind Guy, but she's running out of forces. Now these Men-at-Arms are going to have a terrible time against the Dwarves, that's for sure. One of which is standing around, Pete. And you can see that Ungrim has taken so much damage with that trophy edge dropping. And look at that, one volley from Queek Headtaker has almost dropped him completely. Ungrim is having a very, very bad time. And we've also got these Iron Drakes firing into the back, trying to hit as many of these Spearmen at Arms as possible, but she needs to be careful, because she's going to get a lot of friendly fire. And it looks like Queek is just about to take out Ungrim. He's taken a lot of Ironbreaker fire as well. Ungrim is finished. That is the end of him. Somehow, these Organ Guns still standing, trying to get onto that hill now to try and get more fire. With Bequist now coming in, King Lewin Leoncourt, we've got Paladin knocking Queek flying. Just drop Verminous Valor there and Dwarf Gouger to try and give him a little bit more arm-piercing damage to try and deal with that Paladin, and he went absolutely flying. But here he comes for another attempt. Oh my god, that's a big Skaven. Look at him. Bigger than a horse. In come those Organ Guns. They need to try and get that line of fire. It's very, very rocky terrain that they have to deal with here. We've also got those Peasant Bowmen who have just run out of ammo now. We're getting the last few volleys of the Trebuchets. Getting a very good hit, though, right into the middle of those Grumbling Guard. You can see Pete is moving close up to Grace now, just about 2,000 behind. And we can see that Bequist is having a great time. King Lewin just tearing apart these Iron Drakes, with Paladin coming in to help out as well. And I'm not sure that Guy has much left on the field. One unit of Storm Vermin and Queek Headtaker. He is in a very precarious position. I don't think he's going to win this one. Probably the most forces left on the field that can really do something are the Dwarves. They might have very, very low health, but they've still got a strong infantry core that they can take other people out with. It's those hero characters that they're going to have to really deal with. With Storm Vermin just had standing ground dropped on them by Queek Headtaker. He's dropped Verminous Valor, and he's dropped Trophy Heads on King Lewin. Trying to do as much damage to King Lewin as possible. Very, very good engagement for him. He's managed to stick him in with those spears. And you can see his health just plummeting as Trophy Heads are just tearing apart his melee defense and making him completely useless against the Storm Vermin. But the Storm Vermin have taken a little bit too much damage now. They're trying to rout. Can Queek do it on his own? He's got no one supporting him over here. We've got the Dwarves now moving in on these Peasant Bowmen, trying to get some mop up some more points. It's absolute carnage. These Gyrocopters need to pick an engagement, maybe just Just chase off these routing units. Income another unit. Miners of blasting charges who have just rallied as well. We've got that Grail Reliquary still standing around. A lot of hero characters for Bretonia. I wonder if that's going to win the day for them. But Pete is very, very far behind. Grace can definitely still pull this off in tension. I definitely think she's in the strongest position at the moment. She needs to move up these Iron Drakes. She's just trying to get onto the top of the hill now so she can get some more fire off. And they've gotten a lot of damage for him. You can see those torpedoes coming in now. Really lovely arc of fire. Needs to be careful though, because that lack of accuracy, they're firing into their own men. I wonder if they're better off just, you know, going after one of these hero characters. Queek, almost taken out. Managed to drop Verminous Valor to give him a little bit more leadership and speed to just try and chase after that Paladin. But the Paladin's just coming right back around now. And that's going to be a big hit in the side of him. Queek just needs to turn around and deal with him, I think. Now you can see Beaquist coming over here, flying into those Iron Drakes because he knows they're a threat. And all he's got left is a Trebuchet crew, 2 routing archers, and his heroes. That's it. This is anyone's game. Somehow Guy is still on top. I'm worried that there's not enough points on the board for Grace to do it, but Grace is definitely going to get that last man standing bonus if she managed to take out those heroes characters. The biggest issue she's facing at the moment is she's lost her Lord. I think she needs to get those gyrocopters in on Queek. Take those points while you can. It's all kicking off over here. This Grail Reliquary now trying to take on Queek. Gyro Bombers and Lewin Leoncourt coming up as well. And you can hear the somber music. Almost everyone dead. Still a few volleys left on that organ gun that can fire in. Needs to shoot those off before her infantry units get involved. She's got about 2,000 points that she needs to make up. And there goes Queek. That is the end of him. And that is going to be the end of Guy Mead. I don't think he's winning this one. He's definitely done some decent points for himself, though. Question now is, can Grace take out these Lords? In they come. Going after that Grail Reliquary now. Trying to take out that morale support. Loads of ammo left on these Iron Drakes. They probably want to start firing on King Lewin. Trophy heads still being dropped on him. If she can get some volleys off on him, he's in a very, very precarious position now. Can they fire? That is the question. In they come. Firing on that Grail Reliquary now. Few hits. Not much health left in these guys. I don't know where this one's going to go, I'll be honest. Grace has definitely got the most points out of the two. I'm not sure Pete is going to get that big a bonus of being the last man standing. We can see that King Lewin is at very, very low health. This is a nice, easy engagement to take out this Grail Reliquary, losing decisively. I think this one's going in Grace's favour. I think this is a victory for Grace. These guys need to try and fire on Beaquist. If they can just get one volley off, that's going to devastate him. Here they come. And they're missing, but there we go. Flamethrowers to the face. But it's not enough. In come that Trebuchet crew. Very valiantly. They're on full health, by the way. They're probably the healthiest unit on the field right now. Incoming more Iron Drake fire. Those torpedoes, they're just starting to rally. If they can get another hit on him. Oh, this could go anywhere. It's so quiet. You're used to all of the death and carnage and destruction. There's about 4 units left on the field that could go anyone's way. Grace needs that last man standing bonus to tip over Guy. And at this point, they have to go after King Lewin. Gyro Bombers need to get involved as well. That Grail Reliquary is almost dead. In come the Blessed Field Trebuchets. Iron Drakes with those Trollhammer torpedoes. Can they get another volley off on King Lewin? Here we go. That's another hit. He's on very low health now. I don't think he can take much more. But he is causing that terror. Another fire coming in. And that is Lewin routing. Could this be it? Is this it? Has Grace pulled it off? Just got to take out these Trebuchets and this Grail Reliquary. In comes more fire. You're firing on your own people here, Grace. You've got to be careful. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a shot and a half. We've got a few more rallying on the flanks now. Beatrice is gone. This is it. Take out that Grail Reliquary, and that is the end of the match. Let's have a look at the chat. Premier Bal VGC says Queek performed way too good here. Queek had a very, very good game. Had lots of chat. Let's see what chat's saying. Come and get me, says Guy. I wonder how late that was. Probably when he just had Queek left. And that is that. As soon as that Grail Reliquary goes down. I mean, the sheer arrogance of Grace, not even getting her Iron Breakers involved. Letting her weapons team do it. And that is it. That is a victory for Grace, I think. Let's see how much of that last man standing bonus is going to come in. Do you take me for a Wazzock? And there she is right at the top. 16.4 thousand score with 20% of her army remaining. We've got Guy coming in second place with 14.8